of them. Oh, it looks different than usual. Here we go. Okay, we live. Hey guys, how are you doing? Welcome to another one of our live session in which we help you plan a trip to New Zealand. I know it may not be just for the very, very near future, but you may be planning a trip to beautiful New Zealand as soon as you get to be able to travel. And we'll be here for you. We're here to help you out, plan your trip, and just answer all. But why are we the one answering questions?
Well, this is Robin and I'm Laura, and we're the team behind NZPocketGuide.com, which is New Zealand's largest travel guide and literally has thousands and thousands of articles to help you plan your trip to New Zealand. Whether you're just coming here for a camper van road trip around the North Island and the South Island, or if you're staying here for a whole year doing a working holiday, we have information on all that sort of things free on the website for you guys to check out. So make sure you do. But if you're not really into reading loads and loads of words, then we do this live Q&A session for you guys every single Sunday at 8 a.m. New Zealand time and various other times around the world.
I've updated it. Tell us if it's right, but here you go.
All right. So I actually need to look at the new updated times now. So since daylight savings and all that has happened in New Zealand recently, the times have changed. So we have, so like I say, we do this live Q&A session at every single Sunday, 8 a.m. New Zealand time. But in the UK and France, that's 9/10 p.m. on a Saturday evening. In the US, that is 4 p.m. EST or 1 p.m. PST, also on a Saturday. In India, that is 1:30 a.m. on a Sunday morning. Sorry, India. And in Australia, that is 6 a.m. on a Sunday morning. So what we do on this live Q&A session is basically you guys come into the live chat and ask your questions about traveling in New Zealand. But if you do miss this live session, then you can put your questions in the comments of any of our videos, and we will go through those questions throughout this live Q&A session as well. So yeah, ask your questions.
Cool. So while you guys are getting warmed up, we are going to go through some questions that we received throughout the week. But if you guys want to tell us what time it is, where you are, that'd be lovely, just so we check that the time that I did are correct, because, you know, we're having trouble with the time sometimes. All right, should we go with the LAA or Lala?
Yeah. All right, so we got a question from La. I'm not quite sure how you meant to say that, but she says, or he says, hello, I really like your videos and itineraries. I am in New Zealand for 22 days. We arrive on day 1 in Christchurch and fly out on day 22 from Auckland. The main focus should be on the South Island. We can fly or take the ferry to get from the South Island to the North Island. Thank you so much.
All right. So it's about 3 weeks itinerary in starting on the South Island, which is quite good.
Yeah.
It's quite a good approach because there is a ton to do in the South Island. So to help you plan your trip, I hope.
LAA.
Yeah.
La.
We are going to take our trusty map. All right. So should we put some destinations on there? Here you go. So she's going to be arriving in Christchurch.
In Christchurch, yep.
And she's going to cross straight away to go all the way to Greymouth.
Okay.
Boom. Then she's going to go to the glaciers.
All right.
Okay. Then we're going to go to Queenstown. Then Dunedin. Mount Cook.
Yep.
And then we're going to go up to Kaikoura.
Sure.
And then we're going to go to Abel Tasman. And then to Picton. Then Wellington, Taupo, Rotorua, Waitomo, and Auckland.
Okay.
Here you go. All right, so let's tell you a few things about those places. So, you're going to land in Christchurch right here. And because it's right here in the middle of the South End, and you may pass through it a couple of times. So what we suggest is when you're the first time arriving in Christchurch, take a bit of time to relax. And if you want to actually test a little bit the car rental that you're going to be taking, a good idea would be to go all the way to Kaikoura right here, which is in the Peninsula. There's some amazing wildlife there. There's some very small dolphins as well. It's a really amazing place to to visit, and there is a ton of things to do. Plus, it's only kind of a short road trip from Christchurch, so I believe it will be taking you like about 2.5 hours, not even, to kind of go there and have fun there. So if you spend one day there, that also allows you to get used to the car. If there's an issue with the car, you can go back to your car rental here and be like, oh, something is wrong with my car. But probably nothing will be wrong, and soon enough, you'll be on your way toward the west coast of the South Island.
All right. So the reason basically to do this route really is so that you can enjoy the journey between Christchurch and Greymouth, which is called the Arthur's Pass Road. It's a really amazing, stunning way to get to the other side of the South Island. You're going through beautiful mountainous landscapes. There's a few short walks that you can check out along the way, and going to various waterfalls. A really good one along the way is called the Devil's Punch Bowl. And then you'll arrive in Greymouth, which is the largest town on the west coast of the South Island. In Greymouth, you can take a brewery tour because New Zealand's really into its beer. They have the Monteith's Brewery there, which will only take you about an hour, say, to go and do that experience. You can go and do some beer tasting there as well. And if you want to do something a little more adventurous, there's a place called On Your Bike, which is basically a self-drive, four-wheel drive buggy experience, all quad biking, where you go through some really cool muddy trails through the forest, driving a four-wheel drive vehicle, which is pretty awesome. We do have a video on that experience on the channel, so make sure to check it out.
All right, and then you're going to make your way down the South Island, which is down the west coast of the South Island, which is absolutely fantastic. I mean, if you have time, which you do, especially with this itinerary, you can get extra time kind of almost everywhere you want. So what we're doing with this itinerary, we don't give you the amount of days you should spend where, we just give you a few things to do, and whatever you fancy, you spend extra day there. But yeah, if you do have some extra time, take the time to do this drive very slowly and enjoy, and it's absolutely stunning. But you're arriving to the Glacier Country right here. So in Glacier Country, there is a couple of different spots. There is Franz Josef Glacier as well as Fox Glacier. And in there, you can take a helicopter to land on the glacier. It's really awesome. You get to go inside ice caves. You get to view the whole valley. You can get the sheer scale of the glacier just by landing on it. It's fantastic. There's also some hot pools, and there is also a wildlife center. So there's a lot of things to do in Franz Josef Glacier. If you have bad luck in Franz Josef Glacier, you may want to head to Fox Glacier, which very often has different weather. So if the weather's not good in one, maybe head to the next one. They're all roughly like about 30 minutes away from each other. So it's pretty close by, and it's a really amazing experience. And then you move on to Queenstown.
Okay, so this is going to be quite a long drive, something looking a little bit like that. So you're going to continue going down the west coast of the South Island, and then going it's sort of inland to Queenstown on a road called Hast Pass, which is, again, a really awesome road trip experience where you get to drive through the mountains, which is really amazing. And again, lots of waterfalls to see along the way. There's a place called Fairy Falls. There's Thunder Creek Falls as well. So yeah, there's lots to do along the way. And you'll also pass through a town called Wanaka, which is really famous for its scenery as well. But we recommend basing yourself in Queenstown, which has loads of accommodation, loads of activities to do there. It's known as the adrenaline capital of the world. So you can do all sorts of crazy activities, from bungee jumping, skydiving, whitewater rafting, jet boating, parasailing, canyoning, there's probably loads that I've missed, but honestly, pretty much anything that you can think of, you can do there. But but one of the main sort of things that you can do is do a side trip to Milford Sound, which is, it's kind of, well, it's actually not too far as far as the, what's it called, as far as the crow flies, or whatever that phrase is.
If you fly like a bird, it's not too far. If you
fly like a bird, then it's only just across the way, but you have to actually do quite a long journey to get from Queenstown to Milford Sound. Someone can put the right phrase in the live chat for me.
Well, Why a crow?
there's a phrase like
I don't know, but tui, a kia, anything in New Zealand, but why a crow? Okay. Anyhow, what is there to do in Milford
Sound? It's the most popular thing to do there is to do a boat cruise, making your way through the gorgeous fjordland scenery, seeing again amazing waterfalls, amazing mountains, and yeah, it's said to be like one of the most beautiful places in New Zealand. But otherwise, you can also do scenic flights there, which makes the journey to get there not so long. There's also scuba diving you can do there, which is pretty unique. Also, you can do various different short walks around the area. There's what else is there to do?
There's one of the most popular things to do, although it's expensive, is to actually fly out of it and then actually see everything there. So the cruise and the flight are probably the two things that you may want to do there.
Absolutely.
Most. And in Queenstown, you can also do the luge, which is quite hilarious. By the way, all the activities that we're mentioning right now, we do have videos of it on the channel. So La, when you are, when you're taking in all the itinerary that we've done for you, or LA, I'm going to call you La. You can go back on the channel and watch us do all those activities so we can see which one you like the most. Anyway, so once you're based yourself in Queenstown and I've done a bunch of activities, you can head to Dunedin. We don't talk about Dunedin often enough just because since it's a little bit out of the way, we usually have to cut that part of the trip for people which are traveling New Zealand for like 2 weeks or under. But since you're here for 3 weeks, you get to go and see the beautiful Otago Peninsula. There is amazing amount of wildlife there. If you have some spare time, you can take a bit of a road trip right here in the Catlins. You can do a one-day road trip going in and out and checking out sea lions fighting. You can see video of that in the channel. You can see some amazing penguins. You can see amazing, like really kind of wide landscape. Or you can stay in Dunedin, and there you have the Otago Peninsula right there, where you can go to the Albatross Center, where you can see little blue penguins coming back from work at sea. It's quite cool. They just waddle their way back to their nest, and that's happening every evening. So you can go there on a tour. You can see the Royal Albatross, which are gigantic birds. You can see them play in the wind and land and everything. It's really amazing. And you can also join a wildlife tour where you can go check out some penguins, including the yellow-eyed penguin, which is really awesome. So if you're into wildlife, Dunedin is definitely a place that you don't want to miss. There is also some really other awesome things to do, such as Tunnel Beach, which is a really kind of cool, you take the public bus to get there, and then it's a really cool walk on the cliff sides. It's quite stunning. But yeah, Dunedin, if you get to do that, you're really going to love it. But then you're going to backtrack a little bit and head toward Mount Cook.
Okay, so Mount Cook is known for, Mount Cook itself is the highest mountain in New Zealand. So there's the national park there and the little village called Mount Cook Village. And as you drive to Mount Cook Village, you realize that this is like where some of the probably most famous New Zealand scenery is. You get to see snow-capped mountains all year round. They have the longest glacier there called the Tasman Glacier, where you can do heli hiking, much like what you can do on the west coast where you do the Franz Josef glacier heli hikes. You can actually do it at Mount Cook as well on the Tasman Glacier. You can do various scenic flights to see all the amazing dramatic alpine scenery, and there's loads of walks that you can do there as well. You can walk to various glacier lakes and just basically enjoy the amazing scenery there. It's kind of about being out in nature.
Exactly. All right, next up, you kind of have a long drive. It's up to you if you want to stop in Christchurch or not for resupplying your car, camper van, or anything. But we think you should head straight away to Kaikoura. So that's probably going to be the longest drive you have on this itinerary right here. But we think it's worth it because, well, first you get some really awesome landscape. You have the beautiful Canterbury Plain. Sorry, I'm going to try to speak a little slower, but the reward at the end of the trip is fantastic. Welcome to Kaikoura. It's the marine wildlife capital of New Zealand. You have whales, you have dolphins, you have seals. You will absolutely love it. So either you go on a whale watching tour, you go on a seal swimming tour, which is one of my favorite activities to do in New Zealand, but you can also go on dolphin swimming tours, and you can see us doing all those activities on the channel. They are phenomenal. Just by saying the name of those activities, you should already be excited about Kaikoura. I don't think I have to say more about Kaikoura. It's absolutely fantastic. and then we're heading to Nelson / Abel Tasman National Park.
Okay, so there's kind of two choices of where you might want to stay. You might want to stay in Nelson, which is the main town of the area. From there, you can do, there's various different like wineries around. There's all sorts of mountain biking and walks and stuff. But alternatively, you can stay near the Abel Tasman National Park, which is known for its golden sand beaches and lush coastal forest.
Wow.
I didn't know I was going to go with that.
Kayaking is really popular there also, if you don't feel like doing the full walk.
Yeah, exactly. So there's the one of the great walks of New Zealand is in the Abel Tasman National Park, which is the coastal track. It's about a 5-day walk, but you can make that shorter because there's water taxis picking people up along the coast. Alternatively, you can do kayaking tours, you can do sailing tours, and there's loads of different options for that. You can do a mix of both. You can do kayaking one way, hiking back. So yeah, that's another really cool place to check out.
All right, and then you're moving on to Picton. So just before you hop on the ferry, right? Most people go to Picton to take the ferry to go up to the North Island. There is a lot to do in Picton, and I really advise you to go on nzpocketguide.com, which is our travel guide of New Zealand. It's actually the largest travel guide for New Zealand, and we put all our knowledge on there. And we love Picton. We love spending time there. And most people, they go in and out the ferry and they do not explore the area. There is a whole Marlborough Sound, which is so worth exploring. You can go to Lochmara. You can go check out some stingray and just have a nice day out. You can go do the Queen Charlotte track. You can go do some mountain biking, some one-day hikes. It's really phenomenal, and it's so worth doing there. There is also a really cool tour, which is a mail boat tour, basically.
Cruise,
Basically they just go and they drop mail off to a lot of people around the area, and you just join them and you check out most of the sounds and just see some people living in very, very remote conditions. It's really awesome. And there is also Eco Tour that gets you to go check out the bottlenose dolphin, which are the largest dolphin you can swim with in New Zealand, which is quite awesome. Sometimes you see orcas. It's just a phenomenal place to spend time on. So please head to our website. It's nzpocketguide.com, and we have travel guide for all the areas there, but just check out Picton and actually see that it's worth spending more time in, especially since you have way more time there. Anyway, you're going to hop onto the ferry. Same thing, if you want to see what it looks like when you hop onto the ferry, where to put the car and everything, we have everything on video right here. Just check out our videos on the channel, just type ferry on the search bar, and you are up in Wellington.
Yeah, so Wellington is the capital of New Zealand, and there's lots to do there. There's probably the most famous attraction is the Te Papa Museum. It's free to go to, and it's pretty huge. You'll probably spend a good hour or two looking at all the...
What? We spent a whole day last time we went there.
Yeah, well, it depends really how interested you are.
Yeah, it depends how much of a nerd you are.
Yeah, or how much. Usually, it just takes as much time as you need it to take. Really, you can spend as long as you like. So at Te Papa Museum, they have loads of different interactive displays. You can learn about the Maori culture. You can learn about the wildlife of New Zealand, about all the earthquakes and volcanoes and that sort of thing. So that's really awesome to check out. Alternatively, you can go to this really awesome wildlife sanctuary called Zealandia. It's basically a bird sanctuary where they have a predator-proof fence around the area, so birds can come and go as they like and basically be in a predator-proof environment. They have lots of like feeding stations, so as you're walking around, you can see lots of like different parrots, some really crazy-looking birds called the takahe, which are big blue birds which look like, crazy looking chickens.
It's the most flamboyant chicken you've ever seen in your life, aside from a peacock.
Yeah, so that's definitely recommended. But there's also the Botanic Gardens in Wellington. There's the Beehive, which is the Parliament buildings. They do free tours there. Also lots of good food and good drinks and all that sort of city stuff you can do. So you can definitely spend a good 2 or 3 days checking out all the sites in Wellington.
All right, now that you stuffed yourself in Wellington and you're ready to go for another adventure, you can drive up to Taupo. So now Taupo is just on the shore of New Zealand's largest lake, which is Lake Taupo. And this is where you can do a lot of really fun activities. It's the place where you can do the cheapest skydiving in the country. So if you feel like throwing yourself out of a perfectly good airplane, this is the place to do so. Why would you do that to yourself? You're crazy. Mm-hmm. If you want to see us do that on video, you have about 5 videos of us doing that as well. We are nuts. You can also climb Mount Tongariro, which was the set of Mordor in The Lord of the Ring. It's a fantastic hike. It's a day hike, probably the most popular hike in the country, and you will find some wildly different landscape that you've seen in the whole of the South Island. So that's also why we recommend you that, just to show you the amazing different style of landscape that you will get in New Zealand. So you definitely will love that. And there's also some cruises to go around the lake. There is a massive carving on the literally both inside and outside the water. Very Instagrammable as a place. So there is a ton of things to do right there. And the good thing is your next drive is actually quite short. It's only about 45 minutes. And you head to Rotorua.
Okay, so Rotorua is famous mainly for two things. One of them is the Maori culture. They have lots of different Maori cultural experiences there.
And food.
And food, yes. So, there's various different tours. For instance, there's night tours at places like Tamaki Maori Village and Mitai Maori Village, where you can go and do sort of like find out how they do a pōwhiri, which is like a welcoming ceremony. There's also, you can do a hangi, which is basically a traditional style of food and cooking in New Zealand, where they do food in an underground oven, and they feed you that at the end of the night, which is pretty cool. And they do some cultural performances as well, and seeing the famous haka. But they do some daytime versions of that as well at places like Te Puia, which is also a geothermal park, which we'll get onto in a second. And the I didn't really want to bring this one up because I can never pronounce it, but the Waka Ferra
Whakaferofuru, I think.
Whakaferofuru village.
It's on the website. So again, nzpocketguide.com, and you have all the spellings and the links and all that to help you do everything. And sorry for the pronunciation. Sometimes we get it wrong. But another good thing about Rotorua are all the geothermal attraction, because Rotorua is just kind of like where planet Earth kind of get into action, I guess. Yeah. So there's lots of geothermal parks to check out. Awesome. There's like steaming lakes and various bubbling mud pools. There's loads of different options for geothermal parks. There's a free one right in the center of town. Called Kuruwau Park. Probably not pronounced right either. There's also the Waiopū. Is it called that? I've forgotten all the names. Waitomo.
Laura,
okay, guys, it's 8:24 a.m. We're not awake yet.
Waitomo geothermal park, which is probably the most famous one because it has the champagne pools with that sort of orange rim around the hot pools. There's also Te Puia, like I mentioned. It's also got Maori experiences there, but also has one of the largest geysers in New Zealand, which is pretty cool to see as well. And there's a few others which we do have listed on the website, so make sure to check that out.
All right, so there's definitely a lot to do in Rotorua, and we just like scraped the top right here. If you just type Rotorua on this channel, you will find a lot of videos of us doing all those activities. And if you do head on the nzpocketguide.com, you're going to find a lot more activities that we recommend there. Obviously, on video, we can only just kind of give you the tip of the iceberg. All right, and then we're heading to Waitomo. So Waitomo is quite famous. First, alongside the way, you can actually stop by Hobbiton. It's pretty cool. This is where the set of the movie The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and it does look like Hobbiton. And you can see videos of that. I don't think I have to say too much about it. If you like The Lord of the Rings, you will stop there. You will go and take your pictures there. Now, Waitomo, this is where there is all the famous glowworms. You can take on the Waitomo caves in many different ways. You can go with Waitomo Adventures and go and do some style of black water raftings, which is kind of cavings going all around the caves, and you grab your tubes and you jump in small waterfalls and check out those caves full of glowworms along the way. And it's kind of a caving big adventure. It's absolutely epic, and definitely check out our videos about Waitomo on this channel to see like how big and brave you have to be to do that. You don't have to be too brave. But then
there's some more relaxed things to do as
well.
Exactly.
Then there are some easier caves to visit where you just completely dry for the whole time, and you just walk around and look at the beautiful rock formations in the caves as well as the glowworms. It's a phenomenal place to visit. It feels like like anything I've seen on Earth. It's very, very different. And you get to learn as well a lot about kind of this ecosystem, which I won't go too much into details. We go into details into our videos, as well as, I don't want to spoil too much for you on the tour, but it's really awesome to visit.
Yeah.
And then you head back to Auckland. So Auckland is your departure city. So it looks like from what you said, La, you're not having much interest into spending time on the North Island. So probably Auckland won't be the place where you want to spend too much time, but you're going to head out of Auckland. If you have a 1 or 2 spare day, what would you do?
Well, in Auckland, you can stay in the city centre, and there's lots of different things to see in the city, like the Auckland Domain, which is this big, really nice park with various walks and stuff to do through the forest, which is kind of crazy in the middle of the city, but that's what New Zealand's all about. But they also have the Auckland Museum there as well. If you didn't get a good enough fix of museums in Te Papa in Wellington, then there's another option in Auckland. But one of the things I definitely recommend doing there is there's the ferry building in the centre of Auckland, where you can take ferries to various different islands nearby. One of the really cool ones is Rangitoto Island, which is a 600-year-old volcanic island. It's got lava fields which you can walk through, lava caves which you can climb through, a huge crater in the middle of the island which you can have a look at and take some photos. And there's some really good lookouts over the water and over towards the city you get to see the city skyline of Auckland, which is really cool as well. But alternatively, there's a place called Tiritiri Matangi Island, and there it's more of a bird sanctuary island. So it's an island with no pests, no predators that would threaten the birds living there. And you basically get to see what New Zealand would have been like before humans came to New Zealand. It's amazing. Yeah, so they have kind of like I was saying about Zealandia with its different feeding stations for the birds. They have that on that island as well, so you can see birds really close up, and some of the New Zealand birds are pretty incredible. It's not just about the kiwi bird. Once you arrive in New Zealand, you see all the different types of really crazy birds there are here. Yeah, it'll probably give you a newfound appreciation for our feathered friends.
Oh, that's well said. All right, La, I hope that this was very useful to you. It's our take on a 3 weeks itinerary in New Zealand, where you start in Christchurch and you finish in Auckland. If you do have any follow-up questions in the live chat right now, just put them up. If you are watching a replay of this video, you can put in the comments of any of our videos, and we're here to actually answer all your questions, even if your name is not La and you're not the one that asked the question. And obviously, if you did find this video useful, a free way to support us is to actually click the like button or the subscribe button in order to just, tell YouTube that you like this video. You can also visit nzpocketguide.com, in which we actually have a written version of all our tips for traveling in New Zealand. It's actually the largest travel guide to New Zealand. And you can also check out other videos on this channel, because there is a lot. Thank you. All right, let's go back to the live chat. What is happening? Mad Mike, good morning, Mad Mike. How are you doing? Adil says, hello from South Africa. The live stream began on Saturday night at 10 p.m. Oh, wow, 10 p.m. That's late. Go to bed. But thank you very much for telling us the time. I need to add it. The problem is that the board that we have for the time is too small, and we can't put too many countries on there. But we need to add South Africa. Oh, La was here. She says, well, thanks. Guess this is for me. Yes, it was for you.
Let us know what you thought about that itinerary. If you thought that was a good enough itinerary for you, if there's anything that you would change, let us know.
Yeah. Did you already have an itinerary when you asked the question and you wanted to confirm, or did you just trust us to do it all? Hope that was the former. Extreme Talota, good morning, guys. Hey, how are you doing, mate? Thank you for joining us another week. Awesome to have you on board.
Yeah.
Mario Bosale says, are you brother and sister? Because your face is the same and match with each other. We're just two very pasty people, but we're definitely not brother and sister. I was born in France and Laura was born in the UK. So that is quite far apart. So we're pretty confident we're not brother and sister. I don't know if we need to do a DNA test, but I think we're good with that.
I hope we don't.
Yeah. Juan Sebastian MH. I hope I say Juan correctly.
Juan, yeah.
How is public transportation in New Zealand? Do you need a car to get to all those places? All right. So if you were referring to what we just mentioned right now, which is this itinerary,
Shall we to show you again?
Yeah. If you are talking about all the blue transportation right here, you definitely can do that with a company called Intercity, which has buses, and you buy ticket by ticket to go to all those places. So you can definitely do that by bus.
Yeah.
However, when you are in one place, to get to all the other activities and everything, usually you will have to get yourself a different mean of transportation. But that doesn't mean you have to have a car. You can definitely take the public transports. And for many of the places we mentioned, there are some. If you're on a tour, they usually pick you up from your hotel or your accommodation. So you're all sorted with that.
Yeah.
And otherwise, you can just rent a car for a day or two. If, for example, you're in Christchurch and you want to go explore the Banks Peninsula that we were talking about, you definitely can hire a car for a couple of days and go there and come back.
Also, there are
And there are
shuttles
tours,
as well. So there's just transport to take you to Kaikoura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can do a lot with public transport in New Zealand. The reason why we were talking about car rental right here is because we assume is the lady called La, which was the question, says she was renting a car and had to drop it off in Auckland. So therefore, we adapted our itinerary to that. But if you do have an itinerary in mind, Juan, and you want some help, and you have a bit, the more information you give us, basically, the better we can actually help you out.
Yeah.
And if you want to know more about public transport, actually on nzpocketguide.com, we actually have that. Is it under accommodation and then city guides? I think it is. So if you go on nzpocketguide.com,
Yeah.
the public transport guides of the cities.
Yes. Yeah.
So you go on nzpocketguide.com, and then you go under accommodation, and then you have city accommodation guides. And on that, under that tab, we actually have public transport guides for each of the main cities of New Zealand. And we tell you basically how's the public transport in Auckland, how's the public transport in Wellington. And there you will have all the information, because I'm pretty sure if you're asking that means you have kind of a plan. And so therefore, you know where you want to go. So you can check those one out and you can see that. And aside from that, if you go on Prepare Your Trip, the tab Prepare Your Trip on nzpocketguide.com, then there is a whole section about transportation. And there's all the different type of transportation. So then you can start doing a bit of your research. But if you do have some more specific question, Juan, go for it. We're here to help.
Yeah.
Paradis, stay safe, guys. Thank you very much. We are staying safe. We are about to start week 3 of the lockdown, and we're staying home, and it's warm and cozy, and we do a lot of baking, so it's pretty awesome. If anything, we're not saying we're getting fat, but it's good. What are you guys doing, by the way, to kill time since you can't travel? Do you guys have some stuff that you want to share, some tips?
Yeah.
Also, did you guys watch the video we did for you guys last week? We had someone asking questions about stuff to experience New Zealand and everything. So we decided to do it as a video, an extra video for the week. Did you guys watch it? We did a video called the 10 ways to experience New Zealand from your own home. So did you guys watch that? Oh, Allah says, thank you so much for the itinerary. Sounds great with a lot of detail and tips. You guys really helped me. You're very welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Tell us what change you're going to make on the itinerary and everything. And who are you traveling with, by the way? Are you on your own? Are you just traveling alone? Or? Extreme Tolota say he's doing well. How are you? We're doing really well.
Good,
as I said, we're getting fat. Way too much baking. Paradis says France and UK, huh? Where your father tripping like you guys too. I don't know what that means.
He's basically saying that reckons that we have the same dad who's road tripped around the UK and France.
That's funny.
This is turned into like a soap opera on YouTube right now.
Yeah, Jerry Springer. It's actually your dad. Sander De Vries says, if you are younger and traveling alone, I will recommend Stray. I had a great time with them last year. Okay, so I think you are answering to Juan. So Stray is a type of bus which is hop on, hop off. So that means that you basically buy your bus ticket and you can stay in some location for a little bit longer and then hop back onto their network along the way. And while you're traveling during the day, you actually do a few activities. So there is two companies that do that. There is one called Kiwi Experience and there is one called Stray. So there is a lot of pros and cons for those things. And we actually have, so if you just look for hop on, hop off, you will find some videos of us where we actually give you all the tips and even compare them and tell you which one's the best. And we even have had you guys vote on which one you liked most and everything like that. So that was quite interesting. MB asked us, did you manage to get some flour to bake?
We actually did.
We got 20 kgs of flour to bake. So yes, we definitely did. And we are full on baking right now. Mad Mike say, love the jar, moonshine. No, actually, let me tell you, it's actually just pure vodka, obviously, because I ate 8:36 a.m., obviously. No, it's just water, but I have the tendency to knock my glass over all the time, right? So what I do is I take an old jar of coffee and we literally just remove the label and I use that as a glass of water. So if I tip it, I just don't spill it everywhere and I don't destroy a computer, which is quite handy. So it's a perfect glass. On top of it, it saves the planet. You know, why would I just trash a perfectly good glass like that? So yeah, it's just my tip of the day to save the planet.
Someone says it looks like a Jeb's jar. It's Jed's jar, I think, not Jeb.
Yeah, Jed.
But yeah, it is. It's exactly that.
It's Jed coffee number 3, I think, if you want to be absolutely perfectly accurate. But yeah, so that's what it is. It's really handy, and honestly, when you work on the computer and everything, it's I knock it off literally about twice a week.
Yeah, so there's a life hack for all you klutzes out there.
Wow. So yeah. Anyway, it's just my tip, and yes, so that's why. Also, it makes people believe that I drink, weird stuff,
which is what you want people to believe.
Of course, obviously. Okay, Joshua, what does he say? Joshua, I'm not attempting to pronounce your last name. I wouldn't know where to begin. So we're going to be in familiar term and I call you Joshua straight away. Where in the North Island is the best place to find fur seals? That's a good question. Right, do you want to get the map out and show him?
Yeah, we need to clear our map.
I can do that while you start talking.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, sorry, that was awkward. All right. So New Zealand, most of the fur seals that you can find are actually in the South Island, but there are a few odd places in the North Island you can see New Zealand fur seals. Probably one of the best places to see them is at a place called Cape Palliser, which is sort of the southernmost point of the North Island. It's around this area here. Should we put a...
Yeah, you can put it. I can do it.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go.
So it's just right at the southern tip of the North Island. And at Cape Palliser, it's famous for its lighthouse there. But as you're driving down, it's a bit of a narrow gravel road along the coast to get there. There is a fur seal colony. I think there are better times of the year to go see it, though. Usually around October, November is a good time to go see this fur seals in that area. But yeah, they're just sort of hanging out on the side of the road. You can just sort of park up your car and watch them from the car, which is quite cool.
Don't approach them too much.
Yeah, so
actually the law in New Zealand requires you to stay quite far away from them.
Yeah, exactly. There is a law in New Zealand that you shouldn't go anywhere. I think it's 30 meters, any closer than 30 meters to seals when they're on land. They're usually more agile and stuff in the water, so they're not as afraid, but they can get a little bit, they can be a bit nasty on land if you get too close. They don't really like it if people get too close to them. So yeah, that's one place you can check them out. There's another place near Wellington as well called Red Rocks. It's a walk that you can do along the coastline. It's about 45 minutes from Wellington City. Again, you need to be there at a good time of the year, around October, November, to go see them. But yeah, that's another place where you can check out seals along the coast as you're walking. But if you wait for the winter time, you can actually see seals all the way up here in the Northland region near Whangarei. If you do any of the scuba diving tours near a place called Tutukaka, in the winter
and we happen to have a video of me swimming with a seal. I had the time of my life. They love me.
Yeah, so if the seals are around, which they usually are, like I say, in wintertime, which is between, it's in June, July, and August, you can see them sort of on a couple of islands, just lazying and basking in the sun. But yeah, Robin and I went to go swim with those seals during that time, which was really amazing.
Actually, to be quite fair, when we went to Tutukaka, we just went for a snorkel, and then the seals happened to find us and start playing with us.
When they see
so it was against our will.
Yeah.
I did not want to swim with the seal. It's like a little frightened as soon as I arrived. Because I was like, what was it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a seal. That's fun.
They just sort of hop off the rocks. If they see there's someone swimming, they hop off of the rocks, and they're kind of curious. Some of them are curious. Some of them are just too busy sleeping, but you can swim with them over there, which is really amazing. And they are very curious in the water and come really close to you.
They're actually much more comfortable in the water than they are outside of the water. So if you approach them on land, seals kind of suck at running, right? They're not the best runners in the world, right? So obviously they're going to be a little bit frightened because they don't have the advantage. However, when they're on the water, well, humans kind of suck at swimming compared to a seal. Obviously, there are some humans that swim very well, but compared to a seal, we suck at swimming. So at that point, they're much more comfortable in the water. So they come and they literally hang out with you in the water. You can see them going upside down in the water with their feet above the water and their head literally down, and just kind of stare at you and hang out with you for a long time. And it's really awesome. It's an absolutely unique experience to do that. And it's usually unexpected because you don't just hop in the water and go swim with seals. You just happen to be in the water, and then they happen to find you, and they come and swim with you, because as soon as they don't want to be around you, they're gone in a heartbeat, and you never see them again. They swim so fast.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the 3 places I know on the North Island.
I'm going to put this one here, sorry.
Yeah.
But there is also, there are seals in many of the coasts, especially in winter. As the water gets cooler, they start going higher up, and they go feed there. There are a lot of places around this area here, which is the Taranaki and the Surf Highway 45. So along that way right here, there's many beaches where you can spot some seals along the way. But if you want a sure bet, that's the 3 places where you'll be able to get to see some seal, Joshua. I hope that's helpful to you. And if you found that useful, make sure to hit like. And if you have some more questions, hit the live chat or the comments.
Okay.
All right. What else is happening? Mad Mike says that he has a moonshine jar as well for water, of course. Yeah, for water. It's just same than me. It's just water. MB was also saying Cape Palliser. So boom, you got it right. It's actually is famous for fishing as well. Rock says, hi guys, you look awesome. I've been there. Oh, you've been there. What, you used to look awesome?
I've been there, done that. Don't need to look awesome anymore.
But thanks for the compliment, Roger. You're a very nice person. And thanks for joining us on the week. I know you were here a couple of weeks ago. Chris Reed. Hey, Chris, that's been a long time. What does he say? Hey, guys, hard to catch your live stream due to the time change, but I did my trip at the end of October last year and had a fantastic time.
Awesome.
Everything went smooth thanks to your video. They really help. They really do help a lot. Thanks again. Oh, welcome, Chris. Awesome. What did you like the most during your trip in New Zealand? Share with people. I'm going to read them right now. We have a lot of people watching. They want to know what was Chris, let's say, 3 or 5 favorite things to do in New Zealand. Come on. Terra Lightning says, last year I went to Tekapo to go and see the snow, and it doesn't snow where I'm from. Is there anywhere else that snows? Most of the South Island actually snows. There is the Southern Alps there that have a lot of snow.
So the Southern Alps is the mountain range that goes right through the center of the South Island, and you can actually see snow in the Southern Alps all year round. A good place to go is Mount Cook, which you can't really go so much it's not 100% accessible in the wintertime, but definitely in summer as well. If you want to see snow, you can go there, and they do various, there's various walks, there's sightseeing flights, and there's heli hiking on the glaciers and stuff. So there you'll definitely see some snow. Also, Franz Josef and Fox Glacier, that's on the west coast of the South Island. If you do any of the heli hiking tours or scenic flights from that side, again, that's another way to get onto the Southern Alps and see the snow around you and basically be on a big glacier, which I know is technically not snow. It's a big river of ice, but that's pretty similar, I like to think. And that's another way to see the snow as well. But there's also, if you're doing like scenic flights from Queenstown to Milford Sound, you go over lots of snowy mountains there. So there's a few ideas.
And actually, we do have a video on the channel on where to see snow in New Zealand. So someone actually asked a question about like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. So we published a video on the channel with that. So a good way to find it is to go and type on the search bar of our channel. You just type snow. Otherwise, you just type snow and nzpocketguide.com, nzpocketguide in YouTube, and you'll find our video on that. And we go through all the places and we point them on the map and all that. So it's quite handy. Cool. Where was I? Joshua say, thanks for answering my question. You're very welcome, Joshua. Always happy to help. If you have another one, go ahead. We're here for another good 20 minutes. MB and Terra Lightning and everybody's chatting together. MB, I appreciate the fact that you correct spelling. This is a spelling that I hate seeing. So well done.
Yeah.
You're awesome. Paradis says, do kiwi float on water like ducks? I never tossed a kiwi in the water. I wouldn't say so.
I've
I don't
never even
think so.
seen a kiwi near water.
No. We're talking about the kiwi birds, obviously. The kiwi people, i.e. the New Zealanders, they do float.
I have seen them floating, yes.
Yeah, they do float. But we've seen kiwi near water. They just go for a quick drink and then that's it. They never go in the water. I've never seen that. Basically,
they look like they would float. They're like balls.
No, they wouldn't.
They?
They don't have. They don't have.
They wouldn't be able to swim very well because their feet are really like they don't have the webbed feet.
And I think they're too ball shaped anyway. They will rotate and their head's going to be underwater. I do not think they're float.
Actually, maybe it would be a bit of a disaster. They wouldn't have the wings to sort of keep them upright because they don't really have wings. Well, they have wings that are about this big.
Yeah, so I don't think they're float. I do not think kiwi. No, my answer is no.
This is an experiment. I think is safer to not try for the kiwi bird's sake.
Now, if you're talking about the kiwi fruits, actually, if you toss a kiwi fruit in the water, yes, it actually does float. So here you go. Kiwi, the New Zealander, the kiwi people, they do float. The kiwi fruit does float. The kiwi bird, probably not. So here's our answer for that. Also, you are getting a prize for probably one of the weirdest questions we've ever got in that channel.
Weirdest, but still relevant. I mean, it's
sometimes we get some questions which are not relevant at all. Roger Fox says, I've been there 3 times. Last time running almost all tracks in the Southern and in 2 months. I can't wait to come again. Oh,
wow.
What are you planning on doing next time? Are you going to do some more running or are you going to do just something more relaxing?
Yeah.
What's the plan, Roger?
Run all the tracks in the North Island next time.
All right. So Chris decided to answer the question about his favorite places in New Zealand. So again, Chris did visit New Zealand last year and he had a fantastic time in October. His favorite place, where? So he said, oh, geez, the Waitomo Blackwater Rafting Caves, the Rotorua Maori Show, the Tamaki was amazing. The Tongariro Alpine Crossing, of course, it finished in 5 hours and a bit. Hobbiton and Wellington Museum, probably. So that was North Island in 10 days. You actually did a lot.
Yeah.
That's pretty. Tongariro Alpine Crossing in 5 hours is pretty good as well. You must be quite fit, my friend.
Yeah.
That is quite a good one.
No time for stopping and snacks then.
What was the guy that did it the fastest that we heard? Like, this guy run the whole thing? It was less than that.
I've heard that people have run that in an hour or two.
Yeah.
I think it's been 2 hours, not 1 hour.
I thought someone did it in less than an hour,
No,
like the fastest
surely
people.
Not. I refuse to believe that.
Anyway, some people do it really, really fast, but 5 hours is pretty decent for like. So yeah, that's quite awesome. And Chris is from Canada. So wow, that is, yeah, you're right. That's a long flight. And so hopefully he's going to do the Southern End soon. So he'll be watching more videos. Cool. Well, just come in and we do an itinerary for the Southern End with you, like we do. Actually, we did publish quite a few Southern End itinerary recently. So if you want to go to nzpocketguide.com and then it's under prepare your trip and then trip IDs, and we have our itineraries like day by day. We published quite a few ones recently, so you may like them. All right, guys. So now to address the New Zealand situation right now, we're not going to go too much into details, just because we don't know enough. We have received some questions about visas, for example, from you, Sagdas. I know you're watching the video. And right now, we have sent some of the questions to our contact at Immigration New Zealand. We've also tried to check the development. But the thing is that every single time we do some research on it, the situation changes about 2 days later. So we don't want to actually give you some answer right now, just because it's all up in the air. Now, we may be able to have a better overlook on things on the 23rd of this month, when we're actually going to know for sure basically what's going to be the situation for New Zealand for the following 30 days. And then at that point, we'll be able to have a bit more information. So we are planning on the week of the 23rd. So after the 23rd, so our live session after the 23rd, we're going to have a live session on the 26th. And we are planning to actually give you guys an update on that, but not before, just because it's a bit useless to just give you information and then come the next week and say everything has changed and then give you some information and everything has changed. So just to address that quickly, we'll do a video on the 26th for you guys. Okay. Hopefully that helps, but we will definitely answer all the questions about all the visas and stuff, because we know it impacts your life quite a lot. So, All right, let's go back to live chat. Eshan say Happy Easter. Yes, it's Easter. I forgot. It's Easter Sunday. God, Laura did.
Where's my Easter egg? Come on.
Laura did bake some mini cupcakes actually.
I did, yes.
Recently.
I baked some cupcakes. What did you do?
I ate the cupcakes. So here you go. So yeah, it's Easter. Happy Easter. How are you guys celebrating Easter in New Zealand? Well, usually you eat a lot of chocolate. I don't think it makes any difference, the situation right now. Well, not that many people go to mass, I think. But yeah, you can't go to mass, for example, right now. That's forbidden because it's a mass gathering.
Whoa.
So yeah. But yeah, that's the only difference right now.
Yeah.
Chris says that, and I think he's talking about the Tongariro Alpine Crossing, that running it will be insane. He was pretty tired at the end. I got stopped by a guide because I was wearing only short and t-shirt in the snow.
Oh my God.
That is nuts. You're nuts.
No wonder you did it in 5 hours. I would want that to be over as soon as possible.
Next time, pack better. Come on, we have videos even on what to pack on the Tongariro Alpine Crossing on this channel.
We don't like to think that any of our readers end up doing the Tongariro Crossing in shorts and t-shirt in the snow. I mean, I thought we taught you better than that, guys.
Now we miss bad. Now we feel bad. Come on, Chris.
Tell me that you had things packed in your backpack just in case. Like you had some warmer clothing on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please tell us that.
Yeah.
Make us feel better about it.
All right. So MB says, I hope we lock down for one more week to be safe.
Yeah, it's probably going to be 1 more month. I don't think a week will make a difference. I think it will be a month.
Yeah, I think if there's to be safe, probably a week would be too short. But but it seems, I don't know. It's a bit hard to tell what's going to happen.
Okay, they're talking about Canada right now. Chris and MB, they're just starting to plan their trip over there. Okay. Chris says that, oh no, he had clothing, he had a ton of them, but he was a Canadian and the sun was hot.
Oh, yeah.
But he had sweater, jacket, gloves, hat, sweatpants, windbreaker. Good.
Okay, good.
Okay, Chris, you were prepared. We're feeling better right now. But yeah. Now, Chris, since you're Canadian, I also guess that you had a patch of a Canadian flag somewhere on your backpack or on yourself or on a hat, right? You obviously wear proudly the Canadian flag, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Carly, how are you doing? Carly Munoz is here. So she traveled New Zealand not that long ago, and she escaped right before stuff hit the fan.
Yeah.
So she said, "Hi guys, quarantine, daydreaming about beautiful New Zealand and miss adventure. I hope you are safe and healthy. Oh my love, yeah. How are you doing?
Hope you are safe as well.
Yeah, we're doing pretty well. We've done a lot of baking. What have you been doing on quarantine? Also, did you check out the video we did this week, Carly? We did a video of 10 ways to experience New Zealand if you're staying at home. So if you're daydreaming about New Zealand, maybe you want to try one of the ideas that we have.
Yeah.
It's probably the last video we published or second to last. So if you check on the channel, it's one of the most recent ones.
We suggested games, different Kiwi food you can make for yourself. We did different books about New Zealand, different shows about New Zealand you can watch. So we listed all that in that video.
Yeah. And Laura suggested probably her favorite book. So if you're a reader, Carly, you probably would love that book. She still talks about it. She read it about a year ago, and she still blabber about that book. So
it was a good book.
Laura's favorite book. Fernando Nicolas Leslie Gas says, "Hi guys, thank you for your time today. You're very welcome. I have a question about the medical insurance for working holiday visa. Would a simple travel insurance cover that?" No, it actually has to be a medical insurance because on a working holiday visa, you stay for an extended period of time. Usually travel insurance doesn't cover that. So actually on nzpocketguide.com, if you go on nzpocketguide.com, which is our website, we have a whole article to explain what type of insurance you need to get, and we also have some of our recommendation on there, and we go into details and everything. We even have an article on what are the questions you need to ask your insurance before you book your insurance with them, just to make sure that it's the proper insurance that you need to have for your working holiday visa. So we've done all the research for you. You can just head onto the website for that. So it's under nzpocketguide.com, and then it's under the Prepare Your Trip, and then Essential, and then there's a whole category called Medical and Travel Insurance. So if you click on there, you will get all the information you need. But no, a simple travel insurance does not cut it. And if you are getting stopped and inspected, that wouldn't work. So be aware of that. But that's a very good question, Fernando. Actually, I know I was a bit serious right here, just because we get this question quite often, and it's just a serious, boring subject, basically.
Yeah.
But we know we get this question often. That's why we went so in details for that. Subculture NZ says, just thought I would mention that I was in Queenstown and Milford Sound and Oraki and Tekapo from early March to lockdown, and it was amazing with so little tourists and no tourist buses. Yeah, there is literally no travelers right now. So yeah, and I think it's still going to be the case for quite a while, since even when the lockdown ends, there will be no international arrivals for quite a while. So I think you will have New Zealand all to yourself for quite a while, my friend.
Yeah.
Kali says, oh, I haven't seen that video just yet. So she's referring our latest video, which is 10 ways to experience New Zealand from home. I'll check that out. I've been literally seeing my pictures over and over. I feel so lucky because I literally managed to come and go before the apocalypse started. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll forever be grateful for that. I don't think I will be able to survive being locked up if my New Zealand trip got cancelled. How is your quarantine? Going crazy like me? Now we're doing pretty well. We're really busy with work because obviously we update the website. Our travel guide to New Zealand, which is nzpocketguide.com. We update it all the time. We do a lot of baking. We do those videos.
Yeah.
We keep ourselves really busy.
We kind of, although we are kind of like travelers, we do enjoy spending time at home as well. Actually, we feel like we kind of do home pretty well.
Yeah. We also do a lot of board games.
We have you guys to talk to as well on YouTube. So it's good that we have this as well.
Yeah. Harjot Walia said, hey, my name is Harjot from India, and I have applied my application for Wintec College for July intake. Will you please, when everything will be working, then my file will be processed. There is not going to be any decision until the 23rd of this month. And then on the 23rd of this month, the government will decide if the lockdown keeps going, which services are going to keep going, and so on. So we do not have an answer for you just yet. So if you keep on tuning every week, we are going to give you the latest updates, but we don't have anything right now. And so I was saying about 10 minutes ago, I was explaining that on the 26th of this month, so on the 26th of what's the month? April. Yes, there you go. On the 26th of April, we will be making a video to give updates on all those things, from immigration, studying, traveling, and all those kind of things. So we won't have any answer until the 26th at the earliest.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Chris says, I had a question about working in New Zealand before the end. Do you guys have a video about how to trade Red Seal transfer, or what is required to recertified in New Zealand to work? What is a Red Seals? So we don't know that.
Yeah.
So that's a good start. But yeah, if usually the law in New Zealand, Chris, just so you're aware, is that you have to be a registered immigration advisor in order to be able to give immigration advice to people. So if you're not, it's actually illegal for you to do that. So we can only say really generic thing here. And the best way is to actually email Immigration New Zealand. They're really good at replying to emails. It takes them a while, but they give you really thorough answer. So right now, obviously, they're closed. Almost everything is closed in the country. So I wouldn't try to even ask them until like September or October. They're going to have a big backlog of things to do. But around September and October, you can send them an email and they will be able to answer your question, just because it's illegal for us to kind of, answer immigration questions.
Yeah. We can give advice on how to find a job and that sort of thing. Like that sort of advice we can give. So if that's what your question was about.
But I don't know what a Red Seals is, so we need a bit more context.
Yeah.
So Arjot says, when we can travel to New Zealand, and what about the travel ban? Arjot, same answer. We're not going to be giving you any answer until the 26th. At that point, we will have information, then we can actually talk about it.
Yeah.
Subculture says it's going to be interesting how the industry will adapt to the new restrictions. I imagine there may still be visitors who want to come to New Zealand and don't mind doing a 2-week quarantine. Yeah, but that's going to be a very small amount of people that actually can afford to take 2 weeks off.
Exactly.
Spending money on accommodation and everything, but not doing anything, and then travel some more. So it's a big time commitment. So it's a big
time commitment, and also expensive to then, spend somewhere in a hotel or a hostel or something for 2 weeks doing nothing is going to be quite, I guess, not making sense for a lot of people.
Yeah. MB suggests to find those 2 weeks as a rest period before starting your holiday. That's true. Usually your holidays in New Zealand are pretty full packed and full on. So you may need a holiday usually after your holiday, but you can do it before. JT23 Vid says, hey guys, how are you guys holding up? Are you guys in New Zealand now? I have a mutual friend in Wellington. I can stay there for 2 weeks upon arrival, so I guess I will stay in Wellington for the start. Yeah, we're doing pretty well. We are in New Zealand, and we're baking and having fun. So yeah, doing pretty well. What's your best advice on finding a room in Wellington plus a job? We have a video exactly on that on the channel. So just type job Wellington, and you'll be able to get like literally, I think we talked for 20 minutes about all that.
Yeah.
So just type job Wellington and then NZ Pocket Guide, and you'll find a video. Chris Reed says, might just be a Canadian thing. Red Seal is a ticket you get for training in a field. Mine is gas fitting. But I didn't know. I will do that then. Thanks for the advice. Yeah. So transferring skills, because you're part of the Commonwealth as Canadian, it's easier. Just that's the only thing I can tell you. And we know from our friends and everything. Part of the Commonwealth, which is Australia, UK, Canada, New Zealand, a bunch of other countries, I think. Then it's easier for you to transfer that, but you still will have to. There is some paperwork to do and probably some retraining to do. So it's not like super simple, but it is simpler for you. Because you're Canadian, eh? JT says you will be put in a government-managed facility. Sorry. Subculture say that. Yeah, that's the plan for now, but that's going to change. Everything has been changing every 2 days. So that's why we're not giving you any advice just yet.
Yeah.
It will change. So that's why we only give you a full video about all that on the 26th. Yeah, okay, I understand what you mean, Chris. Thank you. JT, everybody's talking about like the New Zealand government and stuff right now. We are not talking about it until the 26th. And Kali says, I'll go eat now, guys. Stay safe and stay healthy. Keep in touch. I hope we can travel again soon. Lots of love for New Zealand, Kali. Enjoy your food. Bye-bye. And Trade Me, Seek, and Indeed are job. Yeah, so MBs advise you to check Trade Me, Seek, and Indeed. They are job search website in New Zealand. Subculture asks us if we're in Wellington. No, we're not in Wellington. We're in Central Northern End. And what was the name of the video in Wellington? I can't find it. Just type job Wellington, and you'll be able to find it. I've searched it for it last time, so I think it's like what are the best jobs in Wellington or something like that, or how to find a job in Wellington.
Or maybe it's one of those comparison, like Wellington versus Auckland or something.
Maybe it's one of those.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those, JT. Otherwise, send me a message on Facebook, and I'll send you the link. Or you can find our page on Facebook. It's nzpocketguy.com on Facebook. Anyway, guys. Okay. Thank you very much for joining us for another week. You guys are chatting together, so I'm trying to follow the stuff.
Just ignore it now. Yeah. You guys have fun.
Usually I read the comments of everybody. I make a point of, thanking everybody for every comment and read all that. But because you guys are discussing together, I'm just like, what is going on?
Does this involve me? No,
what is he referring to? Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much for joining us for another hour of chatting about traveling in New Zealand. We'll be back here next week. At the same time, so it's 8 a.m. New Zealand time. The best way to find that is to just try to convert 8 a.m. New Zealand time to your time
where
home.
You are.
And to do that, there is a link in the description below of the video where you can compare that. Anyway, in the meantime, it will be on Saturday in the UK at 9 p.m., in France at 10 p.m., in Saturday in the USA at 4 p.m. EST and 1 p.m. PST, in India on Sunday at 1:30 a.m., in Australia on Sunday at 6 a.m. Thank you very much for joining us on another one of our live session. If you miss it, make sure to put your questions in the comment of any of our videos. We're always happy to help. Bye-bye.
See you next week and stay safe.